Welcome to Meganet Gaming, and this review is going to be on one of the most popular Super Nintendo games of all time, and that is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. It's developed and published by Nintendo and released in November of 1991. It's an action RPG slash action adventure game. It really is more of an action adventure game with some RPG elements than a pure RPG, but the genre doesn't really matter that much. This is a return to the form of the original Legend of Zelda game, ditching the side-scrolling elements of Zelda 2, and even bringing back some of the music from the original game. The game itself, the plot, you assume the role of Link, a young man living with his uncle south of Hyrule Castle. Princess Zelda is held captive in the castle dungeon by a treacherous wizard who set forth a chain of events to release his Dark Master. Seemingly this wizard has put some type of spell on a lot of the guards, so the guards are start acting violent towards Link when you go into the quest. But this one, instead of having the goal of rescuing Zelda, you actually rescue Zelda quite quickly, especially if you know what you're doing. The goal is to take on this wizard and basically make the world right. This game is a prequel to the first two Zelda games. But with the Zelda games, it's hard to put together a coherent timeline. So with this game, this is one of those games that masters all of the basics. Go ahead and pull up some gameplay footage. It masters the story and plot delivery, tying that to gameplay. The gameplay mechanics are mastered. Hit detection's spot on. Controls are spot on. You're highly responsive. Movement's responsive. The perspective of the game gives a semi-open world feel, especially for the time it seemed open world. By today's standards, you can tell is a linear game. It gave you the option to explore in between, going from point A to point B. The graphics have quite a bit of charm, and if this game would be released today, had it not been released back then, this game would hold up on its own as a modern release, especially with a lot of retro games being released. Retro-inspired games, that is, in our current retro-crazed game market. So, here's some of the gameplay. There's not a whole lot of items to find, and some of those items you find you only use a couple of times. But overall, there's enough levels. The game is also a bit easier than the original Legend of Zelda, given it actually gives you a map and shows you where to go next for the most part. But regardless of that, it's one of the best Super Nintendo games I ever played. It's one that's held up quite well, and I actually enjoyed playing it more this time than I did as a child. The story's executed well. The gameplay is fun. This game really doesn't do anything wrong. And it kept the series going in such a way where it retained its popularity, likely increased its popularity to a degree, although I don't have figures for that, opening the door for later Zelda releases, which I haven't personally played that much of, but many of them are held up as some of the greatest games ever made by the fan base. So with this game, it's definitely a game that if you have a Super Nintendo, this one keeps going up in price, so play it however you can, but it's one that you should definitely eventually add to your library. The sound and music is well done for the game and fits what's going on. And it really doesn't do anything specifically wrong except maybe being a bit on the easy side of things. So I'm giving this game a diamond egg. It is going on the lower end of that diamond egg list, but a diamond egg nonetheless. Hope you enjoyed the review. Please like, subscribe, and have a great day.